お前はどこまで見えている。俺の死に様か。
POV Sasuke Xu, how infuriating. How long can you flicker in front of my eyes? Do you really not realize that I'm going to be sick from an overabundance of your attention, which, by the way, I don't need at all? Dobe, where are you? Only you can drag this maniac away from me for a while. Oh, Kami-sama, give me strength and endurance. Sasuke-kun, why are you so sad? A scathing look towards the source of my bad mood. Today is a holiday, look how happy everyone is. I involuntarily looked around at the people around me, and for a second I really wanted to laugh hysterically. A crowd of deranged idiots. Yes, I'm the last bastard if I think that about my comrades, although what the hell are they my comrades? Today is just another fucking holiday, namely Shikamaru's birthday. And everyone is celebrating this significant day. Well, those who are too lazy, including me, were dragged here by our dear teammates. The holiday has just begun, so I don't see dancing on the table and drunken screams yet, but everything has its time, I know, for the first time or what? Oh, not for the first time. This kind of bar we are in now was built after I left the village. The people have dissolved here, however, while I was away. Although what do I care? None. I silently watch how our friendly company is having fun, namely, the young composition of the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th teams. A noisy company, by the way. Joyful congratulations, gifts, toasts, everything that happens around me is wildly annoying. I don't like people, and even more so such cheerful and joyful ones. Especially when there are so many of them, the question is, why am I here? I don't stop asking myself, although there can only be one answer: I'm trying to live a normal life. Since I returned to Konoha, it would be more correct to say, since I was returned here, I have been entrusted with the most difficult mission, to join the life of this wonderful village and become, so to speak, its inseparable harmonious part. Of course, everything is not as simple as it may seem, and I still wonder why I was not quartered and burned at the stake, but everything happened as it happened. I came back and was reinstated to Team 7. I recently started participating in team missions. You can't count on an individual one, because no one has much confidence in me. Yes, everything has changed. I have changed, those I knew have changed, the attitude towards me has changed. I see that no one has much sympathy for me, but everyone steadfastly tolerates my presence and, it seems, sometimes even relax and forget about it. This probably means that my harmonious fusion is going well. Let me get you something to drink. Are you still here? And I was hoping that I had left after all. Oh. So this is an excuse to get rid of you, at least for a while. I nod affirmatively in response to your suggestion. I'll be right there, Sasuke-kun. The green-eyed fury rushed off to the bar without even asking what I would like to drink. Of course, she already knows everything. Every damn holiday, she just won't let go of me, greedily devouring my every gesture and every word. Sakura is the only person who, with my return, seemed to have fallen into childhood, namely at the time when she was unrequited in love with me. I was sure that this childish feeling had long passed, and there were rumors about her affair with Naruto in the village. That is why I boldly agreed to return to Team 7, which I have already regretted 100 times. Sakura is not enough for me, so also Sai remained in the team. Brrr, I don't even want to think about him, here you go. A glass with a suspicious colored liquid appeared in front of his face. Oh, yes, I didn't notice when Sakura managed to return. What is it? I asked before picking up the glass. This is clearly not what I usually drink, the new cocktail, they say, it's just great. I couldn't resist and decided to take it to you. Try it, you might like it. Sakura broke into an idiotic smile. I don't know if she and Naruto had something or not, but I hope not. It's not very pleasant for me to think that I, the goat, am to blame for everything. They say, I came back and ruined everything for them. In the end, maybe Sakura is a good person. The first time I thought about it was during the same party. At first, when everyone tried to avoid me, she stayed close. During missions, this is not so noticeable, because we are just doing our job, but here, in an informal setting. To tell the truth, it was hard, and I even got well drunk a couple of times, out of grief. Damn, it's funny to remember. I was drawn to frank conversations, and Sakura, to my deepest surprise, turned out to be an excellent conversationalist, not just a listener. Maybe get drunk today? I take a small sip of a new drink. It tastes strange, but you can drink it. Sakura continues to sit next to me and make eyes. Sasuke-kun, ask me to dance today. No, dear, I'm not that drunk yet. Sakura may be a good person, but as a girl she doesn't interest me at all. I'm sorry. It's nothing, I have a lot more with me, Kunoichi happily assures, putting on the table a whole bottle with a drink, judging by the color, identical to what I'm drinking now. With a resigned sigh, I begin to absorb the newfangled cocktail more confidently. I won't call Sakura to dance, even when I'm completely drunk, but I want to get drunk. How does it still suck for me? Sasuke-kun, are you okay? A caring voice from somewhere out of the blurring reality in the eyes. Yes, everything is fine, I'll go away for a minute. I try to hold on and not show that I really feel bad. It couldn't have been a great Uchiha to blame with a couple of cups, CSR. On autopilot, I fly to the men's restroom, noticing with my peripheral vision the gaze of black eyes that are constantly watching me, finding myself in such a desirable inaccessibility from the hustle and bustle of the bar and making sure that I am alone in the restroom now. I allow myself to relax. With a quiet groan, I slide down the smooth tile wall, smoothly settling on the floor. What the hell is wrong with me? Did the cocktail really work like that? And what the hell was mixed into it then? My head is just splitting, and my consciousness is trying to slip away from me over and over again. But you can't handle me that easily, can you? Unconsciously, I run my fingers through my hair, squeezing painfully, which does not reduce the pain at all, but somehow distracts. Calm down, now we will slowly get up and put ourselves in order. You're just a little overdone, man. I've always been good at self-persuasion, hopefully it will work this time too. You don't want to pass out right here, do you? Laia. Another attempt to get to his feet ended in complete failure. Okay, I'll sit for a minute, no one sees, yet. To be honest, I don't want to get up at all. Now that the fever was added to the headache and weakness, sitting here in silence, leaning against the cold tile wall, seemed to me just the pinnacle of bliss. My throat is so dry that my tongue is about to stick to the sky. No, there's clearly something wrong here. Somehow I get to my feet and walk unsteadily to the nearest sink. Hello, my dear. With a quick movement I unscrew the faucet almost to full and, taking full palms of ice water, greedily swallow the life-giving moisture, and then furiously rub my face with wet hands. That's clearly better. After repeating this simple procedure a few more times, I really felt better. It's probably time to go back to Sakura and ask her a good question about what kind of trash she slipped me. Having decided to finally make sure that my appearance has returned to normal, I look up at the mirror hanging directly over the sink and immediately encounter two pairs of absolutely impenetrable black eyes. No, I don't have double vision, which is confirmed by hot breath right in my ear. Are you feeling unwell, honey? Can I walk you home? The indifferent tone is still diluted with a barely noticeable note of irony. Have you come to make fun? No, thanks. I feel great. I turn around to face the interlocutor, confidently looking straight into his eyes. I shouldn't show even the slightest weakness, especially before this, really? Fake surprised tone. Well, it probably seemed to me, just as fake disappointment, and you look away for a second, continuing, It's kind of weird that you're okay. You stop talking. What the hell? What do you mean by that? I can't hide my curiosity, especially when the situation is so closely related to me and my current state. A quiet chuckle in response, I don't like it at all. You look up, and I see a bright light of expected fun. Sasuke, you shake your head, sympathetically. What a silly and cute you are, apparently completely insolent. You run your hand over my face, collecting cold drops of water. I'm just a beast. I quickly intercept your hand, and with a sharp movement I twist it behind your back. Are you fucking crazy at all? I try not to make noise, and my voice is more like a hiss. I'm really angry, but that's no reason to make a scandal at someone else's celebration of life. Wow, there's still something kind and bright left in me. Grinning at my thoughts, I continued, explain what nonsense you are talking. Haven't you figured it out yet, kid? You don't pull away, but just calmly turn your head to look into my eyes. Hearing your appeal, I twist your arm even more. Apparently, it affects you better than words, so you continue. Sakura didn't bring you a cocktail at all. You know, she's a medic, a specialist in poisons and potions. And she also breathes unevenly to you. If you've noticed, of course, kitten, I'm frantically trying to put all of Sai's words into the big picture, but I'm not thinking straight, to put it mildly. My head starts to hurt again, and I feel my grip loosening. Okay, I see you don't get it. Exhaling exhausted, the brunette breaks out of my grip and leans on me, pressing his whole body against the same cute, cool tile wall. I even felt a little better. Although no, which one is easier? Because of this sick artist, I can't breathe normally. Or is it not because of him? Probably, he hit me with his head, because during my reflections, I did not immediately notice that Sai was slowly licking my neck, slightly biting and pulling the skin, while pawing me all over, and I, damn it, was starting to get excited. As soon as I realized all the charm of what was happening, I sent Sai to the floor with a good blow to the jaw, to cool down a little. No, it's not that I'm surprised by his behavior, he's harassed me before, but to be so brazen. What I'm really shocked by is the reaction of my body. Either you tell me now what's going on, or I'll rip your balls off. Either you tell me now what's going on, or I'll rip your balls off. I thought I was going to make no noise, but I think I finally snapped. Breathing heavily, I just glared at Sai lying on the floor. The latter pressed his palm to his bruised cheekbone, but judging by the nasty grin that returned to his face, I didn't hit him hard enough. Well, it can still be fixed. What Sakura brought you is something like a love potion of her own production. And it seems to work quite well. Continuing to smile just as nastily, Sai got to his feet and began to slowly approach me. I wanted to step back, but I had nowhere to retreat to. Of course, I could have left the room and the company of this pervert, so unpleasant to me, but curiosity prevailed. I want to know what's going on, and if I have to listen to this lunatic for that, then I will somehow endure. Meanwhile, Sai stopped a meter away from me, without violating my personal space. He doesn't want to get in the face again, asshole, and continued. I heard Sakura tried to do this once before. Then her efforts were not crowned with success, but now she has become much smarter, isn't it? She not only managed to cook something better than that love potion, but also successfully slipped it to you. I admire her ingenuity. Sai rolled his eyes picturesquely and fell silent, apparently waiting for my reaction. To be honest, I don't recall Sakura doing this before. Apparently, I was smarter and more careful then, since I didn't fall for her bait. That's what communication with idiots like my team leads to. Okay, that's not what we're talking about right now. Let's say what Sai says is true, so what? Should I fall in love with Sakura now, or not? I will not deny that I feel strange, but there is no warm feelings for the pink-haired one here. Something better than that love potion. This not very transparent hint confuses me. The first thing that comes to mind, considering all the reactions of my body and the information received from Saya, is Sakura decided to drag me into bed. Oh no, it seems my guesses were correct. At the very thought of it, I was instantly thrown into a fever, my cheeks turned treacherously red, and my lungs became catastrophically short of air. I am silent about the reaction of my manhood, which does not want to calm down even from the moment of Sai's obsessive harassment. Fucked up, a dumbfounded look at nothing. Sakura, I'm going to kill you. A sweet, kind, understanding girl. Well, finally you understand, my clever one. Sai came close with the obvious intention to continue his harassment. His hands rested on my hips, slightly squeezing, which made me shudder all over, and a wave of pleasant tingling ran through my body. Well done, Sakura, you really can be admired. Sai abruptly leaned forward in an attempt to kiss me, and I automatically turned away in the hope of dodging his kiss. Taking advantage of the situation, instead of my lips, Sai begins to cover my neck with persistent kisses, slowly descending to the collarbones. An incredible weakness rolled over again, and everything swam before my eyes. Xu, what am I standing for? Push him away. Come on. Oh no, why is it so nice? It's strange, but Sakura is not at our table. Ah, there's Lee dragging her to dance. I owe you, Lee. Although you'll never know. Okay, stop philosophizing. It's time to get out of here before Sakura notices me or Sai catches up. I decided not to say goodbye, so as not to attract unnecessary attention now, and silently, in English, so to speak, left the room. Opening the front door, I was already preparing to breathe in the fresh autumn air of the night Konoha, but instead I bumped into someone's hard forehead. It hurts, damn it, look where you're going. I reacted instantly. Strange, I don't hear an apology. Rubbing the bruised place, behind the sparks scattered in my eyes, I tried to see who prevented my safe escape. Ah, Naruto. Then everything is clear. The blonde was without the usual protector with the symbol of Konoha, so now he was standing in front of me, also wincing and rubbing his forehead. And he was, one might say, on parade. Instead of an orange suit, he was wearing slightly narrowed black trousers and a t-shirt of the same color. The image was completed by a completely unbuttoned black leather jacket with orange inserts. Well, I couldn't without it, damn. I snorted to my thoughts. Yes, it's pretty cool today. I shivered a little under an unexpected gust of cold wind. Was Naruto really late because he was dressing up? Duh, it looks like he decided to seriously take up seduction. Sakura? Well, she was just looking for an adventure. He has finally appeared, I remarked aloud, ignoring the minimum standards of decency, which consist in the need to greet the interlocutor to begin with. This did not escape Naruto's attention. Hello to you too, Sasuke. Naruto knew that it was useless to focus on my manner of communication, so he quickly changed the subject. Are you leaving already? I nodded back. I'm not feeling well, I don't have to report to this dobe. You know less, you sleep more soundly, in general. Without waiting for an answer, I walked around the blonde and walked away from the citadel of debauchery. Hey, maybe I can fool you. Naruto, as always, showed care and attention. Catching up with me, he put his hand on my shoulder, attracting my attention, and looked into my eyes sympathetically. Sasuke, control yourself, thanks for your concern, but I'll get home somehow, I snapped and froze in a daze. Home? No, you can't go home. When Sakura notices my absence, she will first rush to look for me and, most likely, will go to my house. Sai also knows perfectly well where I live. CSR, what to do? Well, as you know, Naruto shrugged his shoulders slightly offended and turned away with the intention of getting to the place of celebrating the birthday of his precious comrade. Naruto, give me the keys to your apartment, I blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. And I didn't really have to choose right now. I wasn't going to spend the night on the street like this, and no one would definitely look for me at Naruto. I think so. Well, won't he refuse an old friend? I heard the footsteps fading behind me. Naruto seemed to be blown away by my request. From my apartment? He asked uncertainly. Yes, I'm sorry, it's a long story, but I can't go back to my place today, and I don't know who to turn to anymore, I rattled off, betraying my excitement. Don't worry, I'm not going to steal from you, although there's nothing to steal there, I'm sure. I started to disperse, but I was interrupted by a familiar clap that announced the creation of a clone. Well, you'll tell me what happened on the way. Smiling happily, the clone put his hand on my shoulder, as Naruto himself had done a minute ago, and slightly pushed me forward, inviting me to start our journey to the Holy of Holies of Konoha's pride, to Naruto Uzumaki's apartment. The author refers to the plot of a radio drama broadcast as part of Naruto Nippon, where Sakura tried to get Sasuke drunk with a love potion. Here we are. Uzumaki finally released me from his caring embrace and happily jumped to his door. Deftly opening the lock, he opened the doors in front of me, offering me a polite gesture to go ahead. Please. Let's talk without this pathos. Wearily groaning, slightly staggering, I crawl into Naruto's apartment. Well, I came to come, and what's next? I was hoping that Naruto would give me the keys, and he would be walking at the party all night. I rolled out my lip early, it looks like. Even Naruto doesn't trust me now, since he sent a clone overseer with me. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, the main thing is that Sai or Sakura won't find me. Here is the blonde himself, or rather his clone, which is generally not essential now, goes into the apartment and closes the doors behind him. You come in, don't be shy. Seeing that I continue to stand like a pillar, Naruto blindly pushes me into his apartment and sits me down on something soft. As it turned out later, on a large orange chair. He turned on the light, and now I can look around. Yes, it's been a long time since I've been here, and when did Naruto manage to settle in like this? I don't have much to treat you with. I wasn't expecting guests today. Slightly apologetically apologizing, Naruto, out of habit, threw his hands behind his head and ruffled his already unruly blonde hair. Such a familiar gesture, now he is very similar to the Naruto I knew for a long time. But this is nothing more than an external similarity. Nothing, it's all right. Although I wouldn't mind a glass of water. Yes, I started to get thirsty again. No wonder, after Naruto rubbed against me all the way. I do not hide the fact that I was uncomfortable, and I managed to stumble a couple of times, after which Naruto decided to help an infirm friend. Naruto's imagination does not shine, so, gently hugging his waist, he put one of my hands on his shoulders, and so we walked to his house. Alas, he did not find a better way to help me. It was not easy for me to be in close proximity to this blonde man. I was really very busy maintaining control over myself, so I immediately asked Naruto to wait until home with questions about the causes of my condition. We were silent all the way to his apartment. I don't know what Naruto was thinking while I was walking with great difficulty next to him on barely bending legs. The closeness of his body and careful touches, damn, it's just some kind of torture. I was constantly thrown into heat, then into cold, and a small shiver ran through my body. I think Naruto noticed it, because all the way he didn't stop frowning and casting sidelong glances at me. He was probably afraid I'd pass out. It wasn't there. Okay, stop suffering, I'm much better now, it's time to make a plan for further actions. While Naruto was around, I couldn't think straight, so now is the time to think a little. To tell the truth, deep down in my heart I hope to sit here quietly until the morning, while the effect of the drink passes. And why do I think that everything will pass in the morning? Well, this horror can't last forever, can it? Sakura, of course, is not friends with her head, but not so much as to condemn me to eternal torment. My thoughts are interrupted by Naruto's return. The blonde man comes over and hands me a glass of water. Tell me already what happened to you. Well, that's what I thought, it's called. I haven't even decided yet whether to tell Naruto the truth or come up with a more improbable story. But I don't seem to have time to think about it. Judging by how attentively Naruto looks at me and how tense his posture is when, with his arms folded on his chest, he retreats to the wall and leans against it with his back. He expects my answer right now, immediately. After drinking all the water at once in one gulp and putting an empty glass on the coffee table next to the chair, I decide that, probably, it's not worth lying. Anyway, Sai will tell everyone sooner or later. With a heavy sigh, I lay it out as it is. Your precious and dearly beloved Sakura decided to drag me to her bed. To do this, under the guise of a new cocktail, she slipped me some crap of her own preparation. Something like a love potion, but with a slightly different effect. When I understood everything, I decided not to risk my health and leave quietly. That's when I stumbled upon you, as I told. Naruto's eyebrows slowly but surely rose up, expressing either boundless surprise or disbelief at my words and indignation at what a liar I was. You know, if I went home, Sakura would quickly find me there. That's why I asked for you. That's actually all. So, wait, Naruto shook his head, probably trying to get out of his head the nonsense that I had just told him. Sakura, potion, what nonsense? How did you even think of that? Naruto was indignant. Okay, let's break the naivety of our blue-eyed blonde. I felt sick, and I went to the toilet. At first I thought I was just overdoing it. But believe me, this feeling is not much like what you feel after drinking another glass more than the norm. While I was trying to recover, Sai showed up. He told me about everything. Naruto's eyes still expressed extreme disbelief. Don't look at me like that. I have no idea how he knows all this. But I believe him. He has no reason to lie to me. Besides, he was quite convincing. I omitted the intimate details of the scene with Sai, not at all, because I'm embarrassed. After all, it's our own business, isn't it? I just don't want to injure the already badly traumatized psyche of Jinchuriki. And what kind of love potion is this if it makes you sick? Naruto persisted, don't make me sick. I told you why Sakura started all this. I didn't want to focus on my current feelings and reactions of my body at all, but apparently it won't work with Naruto to get around this issue. And how can you be so stupid? I hope you are familiar with such a concept as an aphrodisiac. That's something like this. Sakura slipped me. Do you want to say that you, Naruto can't find the words, are you excited right now? I nod affirmatively, and Naruto immediately bursts into laughter. Well, Uchiha, stop fooling around. It seems he decided that I was just kidding. Can you tell me what you've been doing all this time? Yes, my calm, confident answer makes the blonde doubt. His gaze quickly moves from my face to the groin area and freezes. Judging by the wide-open eyes and the frozen expression on your face, you've got it. Naruto is stuck and, I think, it's for a long time. Well, okay, you can enjoy the silence. The interrogation is over. I lean back in my chair and close my eyes. It would be nice to fall asleep, but I'm afraid it won't work. I'm getting worse, and even though Naruto is more than a decent distance away from me, almost at the other end of the room, I feel the same way when I walked with him here. And how long will it last? Yes, a good question, Kami-sama, a doomed whisper. Wow, somehow you quickly sagged. I open my eyes. Naruto tiredly massages the bridge of his nose, pacing back and forth across the room, digesting the information received. Well, let's say it's like this. He stops, takes his hands off his face and looks at me. And now what? Nothing. Oh, my nervousness is rising again. Don't make a big deal out of a molehill. I'll stay here with you until morning and go home. And what makes you think that everything will pass in the morning? Naruto voiced my own concerns. How else? Am I going to run like this for a month? Very funny. I don't think it's possible in principle. And if it is possible, could Sakura have treated me so cruelly? How did she even come to this? Naruto suddenly breaks into a scream, and only now I notice how angry he is. He is breathing heavily, nervously clenching and unclenching his fists, almost grinding his teeth. The situation began to heat up. Naruto, do you mind if I take a shower at your place? There's nowhere else to hide in this apartment, and I really want to be alone before I do something stupid. Oh, yes, of course. Changing the topic of conversation had a good effect on Naruto, who immediately ran around the apartment looking for a towel and clean clothes for me. Here you go, you hand me your finds. I take it without looking. The bath is there, you point to the door with your finger. I think you'll figure out the rest yourself. Thank you. Without wasting a minute, I head to the bathroom. During our conversation, the excitement has already become painful, and I'm almost ready to howl and climb the wall. With all this, I have to pretend brutal equanimity in front of this idiot. And what am I trying for? Probably, this is education. However, I will have to forget about him for a while. And in general, it would be better for me to forget about everything that awaits me today. The end of POV Sasuke. It seemed to me, didn't it? No, the blonde is not used to giving up. Holding his breath, Naruto listened intently, trying not to miss the slightest rustle. I didn't have to wait long, and just a minute later, the suspicious sound was repeated again. Naruto immediately rushed to the door, pressing his ear to it, to make sure that it wasn't his imagination. Although it is already unlikely twice, but still. The bathroom door was thin and flimsy, and, consequently, it did not differ in increased sound insulation. And after a few seconds of waiting, Naruto became one of the rare lucky ones who managed to hear in all its glory the charms of the erotic vocabulary of Uchiha. Is he really, in my soul? So, he wasn't lying. Naruto turned blue, then blushed, and in the end just jerked away from the door. He did not understand why the image of a naked brunette stubbornly stands before his eyes, shamelessly caressing his own body, erotically arching and moaning from his own caresses. This picture made Uzumaki wildly nervous and at the same time excited. Excited so much that Naruto was seriously scared. He was rushing around the apartment from corner to corner, not finding a place for himself, completely not understanding what had come over him. Maybe what's going on with Sasuke is contagious? Yes, most likely, the blonde concluded and finally pulled himself together, pushing away the depraved image of Uchiha with an incredible effort. He decided to prepare a bed for Sasuke so that when the guest returned from the shower, he would immediately put him to bed, thereby limiting their communication to a minimum. You never know what else he wants to throw away. Naruto finished changing his underwear and even remembered that he was going to have a snack. The appetite, of course, is gone, but not to starve now. He turned around with the intention of visiting his refrigerator. Ah! The blonde jumped up in fright on the spot. Topic: Do you want my death? Don't scare him like that. Right in front of him stood Uchiha in a wet, sticking to the body white t-shirt, which became almost transparent and did not hide from the curious blue eyes of the beautiful body of the brunette. Yes, Sasuke is really good, more than just handsome and attractive. Looking at him, even Sakura's stupid act can be understood. Quickly taking his eyes off the attractive body, the blonde admits defeat. Is it possible not to want it? Previously, Naruto did not notice signs of non-traditional sexual orientation, but now he almost choked on saliva. Yes, this guy is a walking surprise even for himself. But Sasuke is not like that. In contrast to the blonde, he is always calm, confident. He certainly knows what he wants, and confidently goes to his goal, not caring about the opinions and desires of others. Probably that's why he was standing there with a completely unperturbed expression on his face. It seems that he frankly didn't care that he scared Naruto a lot. Sasuke grinned and snorted contemptuously. So, Uchiha, don't push yourself, you're in the wrong position. Naruto was angered by the reaction of the impudent guest, and the excitement did not happen. I'm itching to smack him, the blonde man thought, and added aloud, I've made the bed, you can go to bed. I'll spend the night on a futon. After finishing the report, Naruto started preparing a bed for himself. Sasuke opened his mouth to give out some kind of taunt out of habit, but the words stuck in his throat. The presence of some kind of living being next to him was incredibly stressful. Sasuke understood that it was just Naruto, but his frenzied libido did not bother him at all. I wanted to come and snuggle up to this warm body, feel a confident reciprocal embrace and taste a demanding, almost rude, but therefore such an intoxicating kiss on my lips. And then? What the hell, then? Shut up, shut up, shut up. The superego of the brunette was just in a panic, trying with all his might to suppress the dirty base impulses and desires of the dominant in this situation. And yes, Sasuke still wildly wanted to swallow convulsively and squeezed out only a pathetic yes, I think I'll lie down. Don't ask for trouble. Who knows how Naruto might react? He will also hand over to his crazy girlfriend as punishment for sexual harassment. Sasuke imagines how he approaches Naruto and gently runs his palm over his back. While the blonde freezes in perplexity, the brunette hugs him from behind and runs her hands under a light black t-shirt, gently stroking the tense muscles of the relieved torso. Sasuke barely held back his laughter, imagining Naruto's face at that moment. No, pestering Naruto is too much. This dope will definitely kill me later. Now, if I decide to die in long agony, then I will think about it again. Sasuke lay down on his side, pointedly turning away from Naruto and almost wrapping his head in a blanket. Now we need to lie down quietly until morning, Sasuke set himself up. I'm wide awake, so I'll have to be patient. A great opportunity to think about life once again, Uchiha consoled himself while Naruto turned off the light and lay down on his futon. It looks like Naruto really didn't notice anything. Or he's good at pretending. In any case, I am satisfied. Sasuke smiled to himself. Oyasumi, Naruto was not at all happy about the prospect of sleeping on the floor, but when he heard a good night wish from Uchiha, the blonde directly lit up. Yes, it's all just elementary politeness, but from the mouth of a brunette, it's something special. Oyasumi, Sasuke. Continuing to smile stupidly, Naruto slowly sank into the realm of dreams. How long are you going to toss and turn? Silence in response. Groaning in resignation, Naruto leaves his cozy nest, and, throwing aside the blanket, goes to his bed. She's been on it for probably an hour, and according to the feelings of the blonde, it's all too, one nasty brunette is constantly tossing and turning. It would be nice if he just tossed and turned, so from time to time he sobs softly and moans strangled into the pillow. Does he think I'm iron? Naruto, this situation was just unrealistically annoying. He, of course, understood that it was not Sasuke's fault, but after everything that happened today, the limit of his patience and understanding was exhausted. But Sasuke really wasn't to blame. He tried his best to lie still and not make unnecessary sounds, but if at first he was hampered by wet clothes that stuck unpleasantly to his body, now he had more serious problems. And for some reason, the methods of self-persuasion so familiar to him did not work against the physiological needs of the body. Against nature, as they say, you cannot trample. But the clothes noticeably dried up. Apparently, they could not resist the heat of an excited body. It seemed that the effect of the potion was not constant, but rather cyclical. Periods of relative calm were abruptly replaced by bouts of intense excitement, which passed as unexpectedly as it appeared. However, Sasuke couldn't help but notice that each new attack was more intense and longer than the previous one. It looks like a test of strength. I wonder how quickly I would have snapped if I had stayed with Sakura. The brunette tried to somehow distract himself with extraneous thoughts, but in the end he still came back to one. Of course, it was all incredibly exciting and interesting from the point of view of medicine and science, but Sasuke was not interested in this either before or especially now. feeling like a guinea pig, on which they decided to test a new version of a drug that is in demand in certain circles. Hearing Naruto's displeased voice and his approaching footsteps, Sasuke froze in fright and shrank into a ball, wrapping himself even more tightly in a blanket. Damn, is he really going to kick me out after all? Sasuke was not just afraid of this, now such a prospect literally terrified him. No, no, no. He won't do it. I explained everything to him, and he knew what he was agreeing to, leaving me here. There's nothing to complain about now. Another friend is called. The thoughts in the head of the brunette were rushing at the speed of light, and the blonde, meanwhile, had already stopped right next to Sasuke's bed. The brunette squeezed his eyes shut, expecting an unobtrusive invitation to leave the home of a friend and, perhaps, even a parting kick in the ass, directing him, the lost lamb, towards the front door. But so far Naruto has been inactive. And why did he show up if he wasn't going to kick him out? Curiosity got the better of fear, and Sasuke timidly peeked out from under the blanket. The night was clear, and thanks to the clan ability, Uchiha could see perfectly in the dark. But even if he were a mere mortal, even in complete darkness, it was simply impossible not to notice Uzumaki's eyes sparkling with anger. Sasuke himself wanted to get away from this evil demon as soon as possible, and it was this comparison that seemed to him the most appropriate now. Oh, succumbing to the instinct of self-preservation, the guy began to quietly, as unobtrusively as possible, crawl to the other side of the bed, in his head making an emergency evacuation plan from the home of the future Hokage. And Naruto, though angry, was not going to expel the brunette, of course. So, to scare a little, just a little. Maybe even have an educational conversation. But when faced with the gaze of desire clouded and at the same time frightened black eyes, Naruto instantly softened, already mentally berating himself for unjustified aggression towards a combat comrade in trouble. He's freaking out. They don't let him sleep. Wow, how gentle we are. Have you thought how he feels now? Instead of being angry, I would try to help somehow. The blonde's conscience was not in earnest. Naruto was so carried away by self-flagellation that he did not immediately pay attention to the timid attempt to escape. He woke up only when Sasuke jumped up from the opposite side of the bed and, a little unnaturally for his timbre of voice, squeaked, "It's time for me to go home," was already heading towards the exit in Naruto's home clothes. Deftly jumping on the bed, the owner of the apartment and Uchiha's wardrobe leans forward and, having time to grab the t-shirt, pulls Sasuke back. Having seated the brunette, Naruto puts his hands on his shoulders, prudently stopping repeated attempts to escape. "Well, where are you going? Didn't we agree that you'd spend the night here? Why did you have to arrange this whole circus if you were going to stay?" I was going to. Sasuke tries to say something, but it's hard for him to find the right words. "I don't want to bother you, you don't bother me." Naruto was upset by the apologetic tone of the brunette, because he should apologize, not Sasuke. "Aren't you going to kick me out?" Sasuke turned his head and stared at the blonde in surprise. "Well, what are you saying?" "Ha ha. Of course not. I'm sorry I scared you." Uzumaki's tense laugh sounds unconvincing, and, expressively arching his eyebrows, Sasuke looked skeptically at the blonde. "What were you going to do then?" "Me? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Why did you come to me?" Sasuke was annoyed by this feigned bewilderment. "You're a shitty actor, Uzumaki," the brunette mentally noted, waiting for the completely confused blonde's answer. Yes, Naruto did not know how to lie, but he could find a way out of the most seemingly hopeless situations. And he did it brilliantly. Probably, it's all about non-standard thinking, which has always prevented us from anticipating the actions of this noisy fidget. And now Naruto was confirming the title of Konoha's most unpredictable guy. "I wanted to help." After these words, Sasuke's eyebrows crept up in surprise, and the brunette himself could not resist and asked again, "What? I'm sorry?" "Well, It seems that Naruto only now realized what he said, and now he was a little doubtful about the correctness of his answer, blushing embarrassedly. When the meaning of Naruto's words reached Sasuke, his surprised expression was replaced by the usual face with a brick Uzumaki. He was amused and even touched to some extent by the blonde's naivety, but he was not going to listen to his nonsense any further. He tried to get up, but Naruto's hands wouldn't let go. Normally, he would have easily escaped from the clutches of Uzumaki, but now his body was like cotton wool and barely obeyed him. "I already told you today, don't push yourself." The blonde roughly turned the Uchiha around with his back to him and sat him down between his legs, hugging him tightly with both hands, like a favorite soft toy, before going to bed. Sasuke twitched nervously, but instantly quieted down, feeling hot breath on his skin, which was immediately followed by an ominous whisper. "I heard perfectly well what you were doing in my shower, but I decided to close my eyes to it in the hope that we could spend the rest of the night in peace. I didn't imagine that you were so helpless that you couldn't even satisfy yourself properly. And you are an expert in this, aren't you, Uzumaki?" The brunette was hurt by Naruto's words, and he just couldn't keep silent. The blonde, on the contrary, did not deign to answer him, gnashing his teeth threateningly. In a verbal skirmish, the victory was always for Uchiha, and Naruto could only wonder where so much bile came from in this brunette. Instead of answering, Naruto expressed his disapproval by sensitively biting the tender skin of the brunette at the base of the neck. Sasuke sobbed pitifully, arching in the blonde's arms and throwing his head back, not even trying to pull away. Not at a loss, Naruto bit the beautiful neck so carelessly exposed again and, feeling the brunette's body tremble in his arms, as a sign of reconciliation, gently licked the salty drops of blood that appeared at the bite site. The answer was an unrestrained deep groan. Flattered by such a reaction, Naruto tried to be more careful, and now the bites were replaced by light kisses, and the blonde's hands, deftly slipping under the t-shirt, gently stroked the delicate skin, forcing Sasuke to bend harder, as if exposing himself for further caresses. With each passing moment, the breath was getting more and more confused, and the body seemed to melt from these timid sensual touches, completely beating off thoughts of resistance. Uchiha understood that Naruto would not do anything bad to him, and, no matter how stupid it sounded, he trusted this blonde. That's why he went to his house, that's why he didn't try to stop him now, enjoying an unexpected, but much desired caress. The blonde himself just didn't want to give up the involuntarily escaped words. The man said, the man did. Naruto. A convulsive sigh and an unconscious attempt to pull away when the blonde's hands touched the nipples hardened with excitement. "Shoo. Hush," a soothing whisper in my ear. "Just relax. Don't think that it's me." Naruto frees one hand and closes Sasuke's eyes with it. "Imagine that this is the one you want. Are you all right?" Uzumaki's voice is filled with barely concealed concern. Sasuke nods hastily, squeezing the blonde even tighter in his arms. It is insanely pleasant for him to realize that he is not alone now, to feel the tenderness of someone else's reciprocal hugs, even through clothes, to feel the warmth of someone else's body, to breathe someone else's smell. It seemed to Sasuke that it no longer mattered who it was. Imagine that this is the one you want. It turned out to be too difficult for Uchiha. Love, lemon, he had little interest in such things, believing that he had more important things to do. He didn't want to associate himself with anyone, and he probably didn't love anyone. Even if he felt a physical need for lemon, it was preferable for him to cope with the problem himself, rather than resort to the help of girls of easy virtue or amorous fools like Sakura. The girls seemed to him too shabby and not worthy of the attention of the Uchiha himself. Therefore, although the revival of the clan was one of his goals, he was in no hurry to take up its achievement yet. And in vain, probably. POV Naruto. "Well, since you're fine, it's better to take it off." I somehow unhooked Sasuke from me with a leech, for which I received a look of black eyes full of resentment. Ignoring Uchiha's displeasure, I forced him to stand up, pulled off my pants with one movement and just as quickly sat him back on the bed. I threw the dirty element of the wardrobe somewhere to the side, and I sat down next to Sasuke, involuntarily squinting out of the corner of my eye at his still excited dignity. In my heart I rejoiced, he still needs to grow up before me, if you know what I mean. This thought cheered me up a lot, so I decided to be kind and carefully asked Uchiha, "Did it make you feel any better?" Without raising his eyes, the brunette shakes his head negatively. Now that I understood the horror of Sasuke's condition, I began to worry wildly about the fate of my friend. "No, well, we have to do something about it. Thank you, you've already done it." I was shocked by the hoarse, slightly breaking voice of the Uchiha. I swallowed convulsively and forced myself to turn away. I was already trying hard to drive away thoughts of my own growing excitement, so as not to create even more problems with it. Enough with both of us and Sasuke. Won't you let me put something on? Or should I go to bed like this? You ask in the same hoarse, indifferent voice, are you going to sleep? Are there any other options? Well, we're going to help you somehow, aren't we? Will you give me a blowjob? Oh I didn't expect our impromptu question and question game to end this way. But there's something to it. Apparently, without waiting for clean pants and sighing sadly about it, you begin to slowly climb back under the blanket. Hey, wait. Come on, sit down. I grab you by the legs and pull you out from under the blanket, sitting you in the starting position. Judging by your disgruntled snuffling and frowning eyebrows, you're not particularly happy. Well, let's fix it. I kneel down in front of you and immediately rest my gaze on your restless dignity. You look at me in shock, trying to pull a short t-shirt lower, and hissing angrily. Are you completely crazy? Just like a real cat. I smile at my thoughts. You always reminded me of a cat, proud, lonely, the one that walks by itself. But even you need affection, right? Gently pressing on your knees, I try to push your legs apart, but you stubbornly resist. Damn, it feels like I need it, not you. I can't stand it and try to use brute force, and in response I get hurt on the head, it seems. With a fist, I grimace with displeasure. You almost gave me a bump today without that, there, near the bar. Now you're also letting your hands loose. Temi, glaring viciously with my eyes, I'm going to hit you back, but I stop, bumping into your uncomprehending look. What is it, Naruto? Where's the clone? What clone? And again our favorite game. The one you created to bring me here, that one. Well, he's on Shiki's birthday. At least, it should be. Until he disembodies, I can't say for sure. I smile stupidly, waiting for your gaze to become at least a little more meaningful, but this does not happen. Is it important? I really want you. Very. It seems that you have no other thoughts left in your head, which is confirmed by the languid look of black eyes filled with desire. Then don't tell me that I raped you. Without waiting for you to understand the meaning of my words, I pounce on you, covering your neck with kisses, slowly sinking down. You close your eyes and moan uncontrollably when I bite lightly with my teeth and gently lick your nipples. I go down the path of kisses lower when you take my palm and, bringing it to your mouth, begin to lick my fingers. I look up and freeze, unable to tear my eyes away from this fascinating sight. You swallow my fingers so selflessly that I already regret that it's all just my fingers pushing into your hot wet mouth now. After moistening your saliva profusely, you finally take them out of your mouth and look at me expectantly. I grin softly, spreading your legs with my knee. And where did you pick up this, Sasuke? You don't answer my question, pouting resentfully and turning away from me. Lowering my palm down, I quickly grope the compressed tense hole between your legs. You close your eyes, blushing embarrassedly. You're so cute that I can't stand it and, forcibly turning your face to me, I dig a painful kiss into your lips, simultaneously pushing 2 fingers inside you at once. You moan long through the kiss, hopefully with pleasure. I keep kissing you and gently move my fingers inside. Damn, you're so narrow. I just needed to tear you up. You definitely won't forgive me for that. My kiss becomes more tender, and I already gently lick your swollen lips with my tongue, and then I begin to cover your face with barely noticeable kisses. For some reason, you smile and, blushing even more, slightly tilt your head back, exposing your neck for kisses. I continue to gently touch your skin with my lips and tongue when I insert the third finger inside. You sob softly, but you don't try to stop me. I take a deep breath, stopping kissing for a while. I would like to hold out for at least another 5 minutes. I'm still trying to cool down a little when you gently push with your hips, yourself sitting on my fingers, arching and shamelessly moaning at the same time. I didn't know you had such a talent for seduction, although you probably didn't know yourself. Do you want a lemon? You'll have a lemon. I take my fingers out of your slightly stretched hole and pray to God that this preparation will be enough. By the way, it will be necessary to say thank you to Sai for his drunken revelations about the charms of homosexual relationships. You finish here, and I'll go check who's there. With these words, I go out into the corridor and head for the front door. The knocking does not subside. Yes, I'm coming, I'm coming. Wow, how persistent. Is it okay that it's long past midnight? Oh, is that why I always get into some kind of trouble? This is probably my personal talent. I open the door, my pink-haired friend is standing on the threshold, and judging by her appearance, before coming to me, she decided to jog a couple of circles around the village for health purposes. My appearance seems to have confused the girl a little, who stands silently and drills me with her eyes. Oh, Sakura-chan, how unexpected. Long time no see. Are you still mad at me? In my opinion, I have already received my own. I remember how great she drove my clone, and I do not want to experience the force of the blow of Granny Tsunade's student once again. Forgive me, please, I promise to behave well in the future. I put on an apologetic smile in the hope that it will take a ride. Do you have Sasuke-kun? Right away? Oh, that's not good, Sakura-chan. I was just embarrassed. No, did something happen? Lying to a friend is also not good. But I'm fulfilling the request of my other friend, so I'll forgive myself. Do you know where he might be? What kind of total disregard is this? Well, since she's not going to answer my questions, I'll be brief. No, CSR. The girl with all her heroic strength hits the wall with her fist, leaving a deep dent. Sakura is furious. It's scary. Slightly stuttering, I try to stop the demolition of my home. Sakura-chan. Calm down, PP please. My nervous friend is breathing heavily and seems to be trying to pull herself together. Why don't you tell me what happened? Why did you need Sasuke in the middle of the night? None of your business. Startled, I recoil to the side. PPIC. Just don't shout like that, I don't want to provoke her, so we need to end the conversation as soon as possible. Of course, I would be happy to invite you to tea, but still now is not the best time for friendly gatherings. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Sakura seems to have calmed down a little. Thank God. The girl sighs sadly and lowers her shoulders, wearily glancing at my body. Okay, then see you tomorrow. I'm about to close the door, but it wasn't there. And what do you have? Approaching point blank, the girl carefully examines the scratches on my shoulders, carefully touching with her fingertips. I think, it's, damn, why didn't I notice before? What to do, what to do, what to do? Scratched somewhere. I don't remember where. The cunning look of green eyes. Naruto, who are you lying to? You got a girlfriend and you still haven't told me? Sakura-chan, what are you saying? What kind of girl? I'm in trouble. I'm your best friend, so you have to introduce me to her. I'm brazenly pushed into my own apartment. Having succumbed to panic, I only open my mouth in an attempt to say something, but no more or less sensible thought ever visits my head. I'm trying to figure out how not to bring this situation to a critical point. Sakura-chan, wait. It's not that you, Naruto, why are you nervous? If it's Hinata, I'll be only happy for you. And if not, then I'm just curious. Smiling slyly, the girl stops in front of the bathroom. Sakura-chan, she still doesn't want to listen to me, rudely interrupting. I'm not a naive fool. For a long time, Naruto. I can hear that someone is in your soul right now. Damn, I can really hear it. And don't tell me you forgot to turn off the water. I feel bad. Okay, I'll wait for you in the kitchen, and you should get dressed for now. My friend turns around and heads towards the kitchen. I stand rooted to the spot, not even thinking about closing the front door. Now I'm deciding which is better, knock out Sakura or get out of here before it's too late. Passing by the bedroom, the girl glances at the rumpled bed and clothes scattered around. This surely confirms all her suspicions. But now, having almost passed by, she freezes, slowly takes a step back, still staring through the doorway at my bedroom. Neat palms clench into fists, and the girl herself turns sharply and, with a completely unfriendly flash of her eyes, heads towards me. Her gaze just makes my heart sink into my heels, and I automatically start backing away. Naruto, why are Sasuke's things stacked next to your bed? You said you didn't have it, or were you mistaken? Damn Uchiha, he left his things on the chair by the bed. Of course, it's impossible not to recognize his clothes. He probably also wears underpants with the clan symbol. It's a pity I never saw them. And, probably, I will never see it again, because Sakura will definitely kill me now. Just don't tell me that you slept with him. I'm silent, realizing that it's useless to deny it. The girl raises her hand to strike, but she is distracted by the unexpected sound of the door opening. And who should I thank for this? Sakura? The end of POV Naruto, POV Sasuke. Plus. The flashback chapter. You carried me to the bathroom on your hands. I wouldn't say I'm thrilled, but you were right, I wouldn't have made it myself. It feels like I'm going to fall apart for spare parts. I'm a little shaky, but I can still stand, although, as the mirror in your bathroom showed me, I look absolutely exhausted. But you, on the contrary, are full of energy and even humming something to yourself. Wow, how it pisses me off. If your endurance is again the merit of the nine-tailed, then your future wife can only be envied or sympathized with. Rather, the latter. Although, who knows, maybe you won't be her as brutally as me. You ask me something, but I'm not listening. It seems that I still can't come to my senses after what happened. One thing pleases, the effect of the potion is finally over. Thank you, Sakura, you provided me with an unforgettable night. Kami-sama, how everything hurts. It's good that I didn't lose consciousness, that would be a laugh. Before my eyes, the colorful headlines of Konakovsky newspapers a la Uzumaki Uchiha to the point of unconsciousness. A photo report is attached. I'm getting worse abruptly, and I feel like I'm going to crash right now. It's getting dark in my eyes, I feel like I'm falling somewhere, but your warm hands manage to grab me, roughly pulling me out of the world of inner feelings. Why is it so cold? Naruto, you bastard. How do you wash in such water? It's cold, there is not enough strength even for indignation. Is it cold? And so? Instead of making the water warmer, you press your lips to my lips. Hot. And so nice. I feel your tongue slipping into my mouth, brazenly exploring everything inside. I don't notice myself that I'm starting to answer you, wrapping my arms around your neck. Why am I not resisting? It's Naruto. Naruto, I whisper your name when you tear yourself away from my lips for a second, giving us a little breath. My head is spinning, and it's so hot. Am I really getting excited? No. Enough. I roughly push you away and turn away so that you don't have time to see the unequivocal reaction of my body. Naturally, I almost fell, only miraculously maintaining my balance, leaning against the wall. I hear stifled laughter. Yes, Naruto, you're crazy. At first I was, but it could still be attributed to a rush of selfless help to the unfortunate me, and now you're also trying to kiss. If you don't want to wash yourself, so be it. I'll do you one more favor. You begin to fulfill what you promised, touching my body with careful movements, gently massaging, forcing me to relax again. Sasuke, did you like it? What? Everything inside is boiling with indignation. Don't ask such questions, Dobe. Don't you have any brains of your own? Silence in response. Somehow I pull myself together and turn my head, casting my gaze at you. Uzumaki, have you fallen in love? The usual grin, and your face instantly darkens. It's strange, but again you don't answer anything, but only begin to rub my back with a washcloth more intensively. Why didn't you answer? You didn't mean to say that you, hey. My thoughts were interrupted by the feeling of something foreign in my ass. Asshole, what are you doing? He's a jerk himself, since he didn't want to wash. Don't you think it's necessary to wash here? You are doing something that causes a viscous warm liquid to slowly flow down my legs. Oh, yes, you came in me, how could I forget? Although I'm not used to this, no wonder. I feel panic slowly covering me, it becomes difficult to breathe, and a small tremor breaks through my body. Kami-sama, what have we done? It's like you heard my thoughts. Don't worry so much, kitty. Everything is fine, a soothing whisper in my ear and a gentle kiss on the temple, which really makes me feel better. But what did you say there? Kudik? What the fuck, am I a cat? Just as I'm about to voice my question, there is an insistent knock on the door. CSR, is it really Sakura? Groaning in frustration, you get out of the shower, wrapping a small white towel around your hips on the go. No, you definitely hope it's Sakura and planned to seduce her. Bastard, you finish here, and I'll go check who's there. You leave without waiting for an answer. Yes, I guessed that you didn't go to shit. Although, probably, it could have been with you. There's nothing to do. I'm looking for a washcloth with which Naruto washed me. I'll put myself in order and quickly. You never know who the devil's brought there. Quiet for now. Maybe it's not Sakura? Although who then? And what am I, in fact, racking my head? I don't know anything about Naruto's life. Maybe a girl came to him. Judging by how good he is in bed, he definitely has one. Or maybe even a guy. Floating out of the depths of consciousness, Sai smiles affably and waves his pen. I shudder involuntarily. When the same imaginary Naruto, naked for some reason, swims up to the imaginary Sai and hangs himself around his neck, I notice how my hands begin to shake. Ugh, that's enough. I drive away from myself, the image of guys already kissing, and somehow I sigh in resignation. No, really, why was I so worried? Am I jealous? There was a treacherous sting in my chest. That's it, darling, you're crazy. Covering my mouth with my palm, I start giggling hysterically. And with every second I'm having more and more fun. It just seemed that life was getting better, and again a bummer. My merriment is interrupted by the sound of a strong blow. It feels like an artillery shell hit the wall by accident. Is it Sakura after all? I quickly wash off the remnants of the foam and, wrapped in a terry dressing gown hanging on the wall, confidently go out to meet my fate. Oh, yes, about the robe. I don't know why Naruto didn't put it on himself. Maybe he left it for me? Although why on earth such a concern? Probably, because of the Sakura, I didn't put it on. You still want to seduce her, you brute. The end of flashback. Don't tell me you slept with him, that was the first thing I heard when I opened the bathroom door. The thin voice of the pink-haired kunoichi now inspired horror with notes of cold hatred and promised death in terrible torment. The girl's hand was slightly pulled back, as if she was going to hit Naruto, who was cowering in front of her. Same to me, man. But I am not Naruto, and I do not intend to tremble before this fool, and who should I thank for this? Sakura, you slowly turn your heads, and now two pairs of eyes are looking at me in shock at once. Silence. What's with the slow reaction, guys? That's right, for you, my dear. Folding my arms on my chest, I lean against the door jamb and carefully look into the green eyes, setting up my silent interlocutor for a serious conversation. Well, thank you for an unforgettable night. I hope you were satisfied too. Or did you imagine that everything would be somewhat different? Sasuke-kun. Sakura says my name softly. Almost the same as when we met after 3 years of separation. Honestly, I wouldn't have seen that face for another 100 years. And even more so, I didn't hear that sweet voice full of adoration, always babbling all sorts of nonsense. So, you, still, pale lips tremble, and tears appear in her eyes. Oh, no, that's just not enough. Why exactly now, when I began to feel warm feelings and sympathy for her, she arranges this for me? Probably, fate wanted me to be convinced once again that it is impossible to get close to people and even more so to let someone into my heart. This inexorably brings only pain and frustration. Yes, I slept with Naruto. Are you happy? I was already preparing to listen to loud sobs, but instead I watch the tears dry in the darkened green eyes, and the trembling lips are compressed into a thin line. That's how I like it better. Now there is hatred in those eyes, but believe me, my dear, your hatred is a drop in the ocean compared to what I feel for you now. Well, of course you're happy. You tried so hard. I didn't sleep at night, probably. It's a pity that your happiness still passed by the muzzle. But don't worry, you'll still find a suitable match for yourself, the same sick idiot as yourself. I start calmly, but in the end I still break into a scream. I want to strangle Sakura with my own hands. And preferably right now. The girl finally comes out of a state of shock and, unlike me, immediately starts yelling, I did well, I lasted 20 seconds, are you waving uzumaki and telling me that I'm sick? No, Sasuke, you're a sick pervert, and I'm even glad that we didn't have anything with you. You're a pathetic nobody if you've come to this. And you, Naruto, the girl turns to the blonde. How could you? What were you even thinking about? To take advantage of Sasuke's condition, knowing that I feel for him. I trusted you, considered you my friend. This is worse than betrayal. You're just a cheap dirty whore, Naruto. I hate and despise you. You need to see the blonde's face when she says these words. What scares me is the speed with which he turns pale and how quickly the sparkle in his eyes fades. But what scares me even more is the rage that covers me with my head. Forget. Understand? Forgive? No, I want something completely different. I want revenge. I want to hurt you. I want to trample into the dirt. After all, it's all because of this crazy preoccupied bitch. Because of her, I can hardly walk now, and I certainly won't be able to sit soon. Because of her, Sai groped me and almost raped me. Because of her I slept with Naruto. Because of her I suffered all that night, and now I feel like a complete idiot. How she still has the nerve to raise her voice at me. Rubbish. If you think you can just humiliate me, then you're wrong. I pronounce the last line out loud. With a quick movement I find myself near Sakura and quite coolly beat the girl in the stomach, forcing her to bend in half and collapse to her knees, choking coughing blood. I raise my hand to strike again, but they don't let me finish what I started. Naruto intercepts my palm. You shouldn't do that, my friend. Do you think I'd be ashamed to hit you? I turn to face you with the intention of explaining how rashly you acted, getting into our sweet conversation with Sakura, and I get a ringing slap in the face, from which I almost break my neck. What the hell? I try to hit you with my free hand, but you manage to dodge, after which you grab my other hand, squeezing it tightly. Sakura, I'm sorry about what happened. I ask you to leave, please. Outwardly, you are absolutely calm. I am even a little sobered by your confident voice and the cold look with which you look into my eyes. I no longer think about Sakura, who, holding her stomach, somehow gets to her feet and, barely moving her legs, leaves your apartment. The front door slams. Wow, she listened to you. I didn't expect it. I wish you'd do that right away. I'm tired of playing peekaboo, and I make another attempt to escape, but to no avail. I'm breaking down again. Let me go, you idiot. Only after you pull yourself together. I pulled myself together. I don't know how you haven't gone deaf from my screams right in your ear yet. I see, you still let me go, sighing with resignation. Probably, I decided to feel sorry for my ears after all. I take a step back, rubbing my aching wrists. Your gaze warms up a little, and there are apologetic notes in your voice. I'm sorry I hit you, but you shouldn't have behaved like that. Listen, Uzumaki, how do you think I should have behaved? Come up and kiss this fool? Or maybe we should have felt sorry for the beauty who yearned for male affection and her in turn? And although I take turns, just the two of us, I see how you shuddered at my words, but you persistently try to keep this mask of calm on your face, which infuriates me even more. Yes, Sakura is to blame, but this is not a reason to raise your hand against the girl. Oh, Kami-sama. Naruto, what the hell kind of girl is she? She's a brainless fool and the last trash. Guilty, you say? Yes, even as guilty. But I didn't hear any remorse in her voice. And I would really like to. For some reason, the only one apologizing here is you. And I don't understand why. Did you even hear what she said about you? Is this, in your opinion, normal? Or will your forgiving bright soul forget about it? Yes, Sasuke, I'll try to forget about it. In the end, everything that happened was just a ridiculous accident. As I understand it, no one knows about this except you and me, Sakura and Sai. So you don't have to worry too much. Even if something goes beyond our team, your reputation will not suffer much. Sakura seems to have decided that you are me, as you like to put it. For a second it seemed to me that some emotions appeared in your eyes, but they immediately disappeared. Which means that it's me who should be yelling at the whole house with a voice not my own, not you. You are very convincingly pretending to smile. So please keep your voice down, and let's end this conversation. It's time for you to get ready. Having spoken out and removed the fake smile from your face, you calmly walk past me. I turn around and automatically follow you with my eyes. I feel the ground slipping away from under my feet. I'm still trying to digest what I heard and I can't figure out which of what you said shocked me more. What are you pointing out to me as a 5-year-old? That you don't want to talk to me about what happened? The fact that you're brazenly kicking me out, even though it's barely light outside the window? Or is it that for you, it's all a ridiculous accident that you need to forget as soon as possible? The end of POV. Sasuke. Naruto was in charge of the kitchen, looking for clean mugs and planning to make coffee, when Sasuke, wrapped in a crumpled terry robe, slowly crawled into the kitchen. What happened? Rubbing his eyes, which were still sticking together after sleep, Uchiha looked at the blonde, who had already managed to change a sexy white towel for spacious house trousers, although he also looked very tempting in them. You lost consciousness, and then fell asleep. Sasuke furrowed his brows, trying to remember what happened before he woke up in Uzumaki's bed 5 minutes ago. Slowly, he recalled what had happened yesterday, which made his left eye twitch nervously. It looks like a storm is coming, Uzumaki thought and hurriedly asked, "You're feeling better, aren't you?" Uchiha nodded. "Yes, I think I'm fine." Sasuke's gaze became calmer. Got away, Naruto thought. It was a busy night, Uchiha noted to himself. He understood that he needed to leave now, but the instability of his condition made him doubt. "You don't mind if I stay a little longer, do you?" "I want to make sure everything is in order." "Yes, of course, I'm not kicking you out in any way. You can stay as long as your heart desires, Naruto wanted to stay alone and finally sleep. Sasuke was out for a couple of hours, and almost all this time Naruto, like scalded, ran around the apartment, not knowing what to do. It was too risky to call the medics, so he hoped that Sasuke would come to himself, as happened. Naruto hoped that Sasuke would wake up and leave, but he also assumed a different development of events, and had already mentally resigned himself to the fact that he would have to endure the company of Uchiha for some time. Therefore, Naruto decided not to inflame the situation and politely asked, "Would you like some coffee? Do you know how to make coffee?" "No, I just asked," the blonde man quipped. "Of course I can. So will you or not?" The brunette nodded, and Naruto, silently turning around, began to rattle the dishes again. Sasuke sat down on the nearest chair and immediately grimaced in pain. "CSR, but don't stand now." After fidgeting a little and choosing the least painful pose, Sasuke began to observe Naruto's machinations. "He's kind of twitchy. Wow, even his hands are shaking. Now he's definitely going to break something." Uchiha's expectations were not met, although what he saw made him think. Naruto was not like himself, and Sasuke did not understand the reasons for such a drastic change. It was alarming. Did Sakura's words really affect him that much? Naruto, of course, is an impressionable idiot, but not to the same extent. Mentally lamented Sasuke, not daring to break the silence that hung in the room. The owner of the apartment was also silent, indulging in his sorrowful thoughts. "He fell on my head." During the useless tossing around the apartment, Uzumaki managed to scroll through everything that happened hundreds of times in his head and come to the most disappointing conclusions. He seems to have fallen in love with his best friend. When Sasuke lost consciousness, Naruto immediately moved him to the bed and tried to bring him to his senses. And he succeeded. The brunette regained consciousness for a while, after which he immediately fell asleep. Uzumaki was already glad that everything was fine and wanted to take a nap himself, but his sleeping beauty began to toss and moan softly in her sleep. Naruto tried to wake up Uchiha unsuccessfully. If we add here the fact that Sasuke had a strong fever, then the picture was not at all joyful. Naruto was afraid that Sasuke might get worse. How do we know what side effects the stuff that he drank has? He continued to run around the bed and wind himself up, noticing with horror that the painful moans of the brunette revived the details of last night and caused wild excitement. Naruto succumbed to an impulse and lay down next to Sasuke, gently putting his arm around his waist. "So close," flashed through Naruto's mind as he peered into the delicate features of a beautiful face. "Sasuke," a quiet whisper and a timid touch of lips. Of course, Sasuke did not think to wake up, so Naruto became emboldened and began to cover his beloved's face with gentle kisses, reassuring himself that this was the last time he had such an opportunity. When Sasuke lost consciousness, Naruto immediately moved him to the bed and tried to bring him to his senses. And he succeeded. The brunette regained consciousness for a while, after which he immediately fell asleep. Uzumaki was already glad that everything was fine and wanted to take a nap himself, but his sleeping beauty began to toss and moan softly in her sleep. Naruto tried to wake up Uchiha unsuccessfully. If we add here the fact that Sasuke had a strong fever, then the picture was not at all joyful. Naruto was afraid that Sasuke might get worse. How do we know what side effects the stuff that he drank has? He continued to run around the bed and wind himself up, noticing with horror that the painful moans of the brunette revived the details of last night and caused wild excitement. Naruto succumbed to an impulse and lay down next to Sasuke, gently putting his arm around his waist. "So close," flashed through Naruto's mind as he peered into the delicate features of a beautiful face. "Sasuke," a quiet whisper and a timid touch of lips. Of course, Sasuke did not think to wake up, so Naruto became emboldened and began to cover his beloved's face with gentle kisses, reassuring himself that this was the last time he had such an opportunity. When Sasuke started to wake up, Naruto managed to quickly slip into the kitchen, remaining unnoticed. Only now, he didn't know what to do, and he was angry at Uchiha for asking to visit him, for the fact that now he would forget everything and calmly live on, while the blonde would be tormented by the feelings that had awakened in him, even for the fact that he was just like that beautiful. Of course, Naruto could not deny the fact that he himself was partly to blame for the whole situation. Really, why, Naruto? Why did you do that? Hell, if you'd held back, maybe nothing would have happened. What an idiot I am. The sad blonde man put 2 cups of hot fragrant coffee on the table. Arigato, Sasuke thanked him, inhaling the pleasant smell of freshly brewed coffee. I hope this is drinkable? The brunette asked sarcastically, trying to switch to his usual manner of communication. Naruto just chuckled in response and began to absorb the scalding drink. What's wrong with him? Sasuke was starting to panic, so he decided not to walk around until about Naruto, what's wrong with you? The blonde man looked at him blankly. What are you talking about? I'm talking about you, asshole. You're acting weird, strange? Uzumaki strenuously feigned surprise. Sasuke didn't know how to express his thoughts correctly. You're kind of thoughtful, you're silent, the brunette hesitated uncertainly, barely withstanding the attentive gaze of the interlocutor. Ah, that's what you mean. I'm just tired, Sasuke. Naruto waved away, looking away, as if hiding something. Tired? Uchiha asked incredulously. Yeah. Naruto took a more relaxed pose and, leaning his head on his hand, calmly looked into the eyes of the interlocutor. You didn't let me get enough sleep. Sasuke was embarrassed, instantly blushing, which caused a sincere smile of the blonde. Any more questions? While waiting for an answer, Naruto started drinking coffee again. Sasuke silently hypnotized the cup in his hands for a few minutes, and then decided to ask, Are you worried about what Sakura said? Naruto just raised an eyebrow in surprise, and Sasuke, without breaking eye contact with the kitchen utensils, continued, Don't pay attention to her, she's a complete fool, and, you shouldn't be so upset about her. Sasuke fell silent, already regretting that he decided to support the blonde. Words were difficult for him, and the silence of the interlocutor strained even more. Now it was Naruto's turn to be surprised by the unusual behavior of his problematic guest. Is he trying to calm me down? I can't believe my ears. But, despite the disbelief, the blonde was sincerely glad and immediately tried to dispel the concern of a caring friend. Come on, Sasuke. I'm not upset at all, Naruto laughed tightly. I really just didn't get enough sleep. But thank you for your concern. There was another tense silence. So what do we do now? Sasuke suddenly blurted out, eagerly peering into the blue eyes, as if trying to read the thoughts of the interlocutor. What do you mean? Naruto was afraid of the direction where their dialogue threatened to go. Sasuke frowned, trying to think of a softer way to ask the question he was interested in. How do you feel about what happened? Well, why would I do that? Naruto wanted to bang his head against the wall. And what should I say now? Confess? No, he won't understand. Although why is he even asking? Naruto, over. Are you really stupid? Okay, Sasuke, he was practically insane yesterday, but you. The fact that you, a guy, got up on another guy, is that normal? Yes, it probably looks suspicious. That's the same. So get out of it now. And why didn't I think about it yesterday? Naruto finished the internal dialogue. I was hoping that you wouldn't focus your attention on this. You do understand that all this is unpleasant for me. I admit that I made a mistake, and I sincerely apologize to you. A mistake? Naruto was too tense, trying to gather his thoughts and express them in a form accessible to another individual, that he did not notice the growing excitement of the brunette. I don't know what came over me. When I saw. Naruto began to get confused in words, and his fingers tightened around the mug. It was awkward for him to justify himself to Sasuke, but since the circumstances were like that, I'm really sorry that I couldn't control myself. Forgive me again, and please, let's not talk about it anymore. At least not now. It seems to me that you haven't quite come to your senses yet, and most likely our conversation will not end well. And I wouldn't want to spoil the relationship with you as well. I've had enough of Sakura. In that case, I won't abuse your hospitality anymore. Rising abruptly, throwing Naruto a look full of hatred and resentment, Sasuke turns around and goes into the bedroom, remembering on the go where he could have left his things. Sasuke himself didn't know what he expected from Naruto, but he was very disappointed. He very vaguely remembered everything that happened at night, but the fact that Naruto slept with him, and then offered to just forget about it, infuriated the guy as much as the fact that Naruto was more worried about his quarrel with Sakura than because of what happened between them. Fucking asshole Uzumaki. Hate. I had a fight with my beloved. Nothing, make up. Such idiots just have to be together. The rational half of Sasuke, of course, understood that Naruto was right, and tried to reason with the enraged brunette. Sasuke, calm down now. What kind of jealousy scene is this? Maybe you fell in love? Don't scare me like that, please. For once, Naruto said something sensible, and how do you react? I react as I want. Shut up, actually. Unfortunately, no one wanted to listen to the voice of reason. But he was insistent, you'd shut up. Threw a tantrum. You also tell Naruto that he has to marry you now. The brunette froze with a bunch of his things in his hands, pondering his own thoughts. No, of course I'm not ready for this yet. The excited cry of Uzumaki did not give him time to think. Sasuke, wait. What happened? Nothing happened, Uchiha said coldly. Come out, I want to change. Are you going home? Bingo. Sasuke tried to leave the room, with the intention of changing in the bathroom, but Naruto blocked his way. Either get out or let me pass. Uchiha, of course, could change clothes in the presence of a blonde, but, firstly, he was embarrassed after what they had, and secondly, he just did not want to be in the company of Uzumaki even for an extra second. I felt that this conversation would not end well. Naruto mentally tore his hair. You probably misunderstood me. The blonde tried to take his things out of Sasuke's hands, and he just threw them in the face of the confused landlord with a flourish. I understood everything correctly. You can just forget about me the next day, but the fact that your dear Sakura turned away from you is a real tragedy. Yes, Uzumaki? Let's catch up with her soon somewhere in the bushes, maybe then she'll fall in love with you too. Naruto thought that Sasuke was going to lose consciousness again, but the brunette only gasped, pressing his palms to his mouth and blushing desperately. Sasuke, you, Naruto began, who finally got what Uchiha didn't have time to say. First jealousy of Sakura, now it's... Is he serious? It seemed to the blonde that he was going to burst with happiness. Meanwhile, Sasuke pushed the crazy guy away and jumped out into the corridor. Sasuke gets to the front door unhindered, but as soon as his fingers touch the door handle, the guy is roughly turned around and pressed back against the wall, shamelessly kissing. Uchiha is angry at himself for letting it slip so stupidly, and even more angry at Naruto for his shameless behavior. Therefore, Sasuke stubbornly resists, tightly squeezing his lips, trying to dodge the insistent lips of the blonde. But the smell of Naruto, his touch, the taste of his lips, all this just drives Uchiha crazy. With every second, the resistance of the brunette weakens, thoughts get confused, and the body trembles treacherously, passionately wanting to continue. In a fit of feelings, Naruto is not able to calculate the forces correctly, so his fingers squeeze the thin wrists of the obstinate lover too much, which makes the latter moan, strangled through the kiss, opening his mouth slightly, unwittingly giving Uzumaki the opportunity to deepen the kiss. A timid touch, and after making sure that Sasuke is not going to bite, Naruto confidently touches his partner's tongue with his tongue, urging him to respond to the kiss. Finally, Uchiha gives up, eagerly kissing the blonde, greedily absorbing every touch. Whether the potion is to blame or the egocentric brunette just didn't notice his feelings before, it doesn't matter anymore. Pleased with the easy victory, Naruto pulls back a little, trying to catch his breath. He releases his lover's wrists, and the brunette's hands immediately wrap around his neck, pulling him back to his seductively parted lips, forcing him to continue the kiss. At this moment, the blonde's endurance goes to hell, and, picking up his lover in his arms, he returns with him to the bedroom to, well, you know what I mean. Where is my winner's prize? Sakura frowns at Saya, who has invitingly violated her solitude. The girl was sitting in a bar, in the same place where Kanakovtsi celebrated Shikamaru's birthday yesterday. There were 5 bottles of sake in front of her, 2 of which had already been emptied, and another one would join them soon. Sai noticed that Sakura was becoming more and more like her teacher, except that her breasts were missing a 5th size. But this is a lucrative business, how did you know I was here? The secret of the company, Sai smiled smugly, and Sakura continued to drink a strong alcoholic drink. Nuu, stop breaking down, the brunette could not stand it. I won the bet, here, choke on it. Sakura took out from under the table that same ill-fated bottle with a liquid of a suspicious color and handed it to Sai. I don't need it anyway. As it turned out, Sasuke drank quite a bit, which pleased Sai immensely. He would get more. The guy quickly hid a particularly valuable trophy in his bag, smiling good-naturedly to his thoughts. He would be able to use it with more success than Sakura. Just don't abuse it, please. No way, the slim brunette hastily reassured the girl. I'm not you, honey. Sakura ignores the subtle jibe of a teammate and drunkenly looks around. After making sure that there are no extra ears nearby, the girl indignantly whispers, I still can't understand. Well, why did he choose Uzumaki and not me? Sai, here, as a man, tell me, am I such a hopeless ugly? No, I wouldn't say that. You're a very pretty girl. Sai winked at the pink-haired one. Then what's the matter? Maybe Naruto used Oiroke no Jutsu. Anything is possible, of course, but it seems to me that you are thinking in the wrong direction. What do you mean by that? Judge for yourself. What makes you think Sasuke was the asset? Sai, are you not friends with your head at all? Sai sighed sympathetically. Okay, so be it. I'll tell you a secret. Yesterday, I put Sasuke under surveillance. You know, even though I trust you, but I wanted everything to be honest. You girls are such mean creatures. What would prevent you from lying about a stormy night with Uchiha for the opportunity to win a bet and make me publicly recognize you as the most beautiful girl of Konoha? Of course, it's not difficult for me, but it's a matter of principle. Besides, I was really interested in how Uchiha would behave in such a non-standard situation. Sakura furrowed her thin eyebrows. So you knew that Naruto had it? Why didn't you tell me? I asked you, and why should I help my opponent? Reasonably, the girl thought, but continued to get angry. Meanwhile, Sai continued, well, I'm going to have to disappoint you. According to my reliable sources, Sakura, of course, guessed that it was about spy mice created by Sai with the help of Choji Giga. About 2 o'clock in the morning, after a somewhat prolonged foreplay, it was Sasuke who gave himself to Naruto, and not vice versa. Sakura was in shock, and Sai sincerely enjoyed her indescribable expression. I always thought that you and Naruto would be a great couple, but it seems that it's not fate. Just don't get upset. You will definitely meet your true love again. With your beauty and talents, sometimes it's hard to understand if he's mocking or talking seriously. By the way, your potion is just great. Before Sasuke left the party, I accidentally bumped into him in the toilet. What a boner he had. Sai rolled his eyes dreamily. Just be careful with your victims from now on, so that they don't have time to escape from you before. Sakura was no longer listening, slowly getting up from the table and advancing on the brunette. Steam was gently pouring out of his ears. Did you grope Sasuke in the toilet, and what? Surprised Sai, not noticing the impending threat. He didn't mind, he lies as he breathes. How you got me, you fucking faggots. You all need to be castrated. Let's start with you. With these words, the girl rushed at the interlocutor in an attempt to realize her plans, but the boy deftly dodged and disappeared in an unknown direction. Growling angrily, Sakura takes out her anger on pieces of furniture, leaving a pile of splinters and broken glass from what was once a bar counter. Not satisfied with the destruction inflicted, the girl rushes in search of the would-be artist, who is already sitting quietly on the roof, basking in the rays of the warm autumn sun and deciding who will be his first victim. The guy is sure that Sakura will not find him, so he allows himself to relax, giving himself up to sweet fantasies. He almost dozed off, and hearing a loud outraged cry, startled up and listened. I'm not going to eat this stuff. Nyuyui, don't be a byac, cat. Howled the second voice. I really don't have anything else. Then go and buy it. I don't want to leave you alone, in case you run away. That's it, I'm going home. Sasuke, wait. What a pest you are. A muffled pop, like a pillow hitting the wall. I didn't hit. Cheerful laughter is quickly replaced by plaintive squeaking. I, let go. It hurts, the topic, I deserved it. Oh, that's how, well, get it. Sai sighs with emotion, listening to the quarrel of a noisy couple in the hope of hearing something more interesting soon, but so far only the sounds of a furious fight are heard. At least they would feel sorry for the neighbors. It's still a day off, the black-eyed aesthete grinned, thoughtfully looking at the white fluffy clouds. You should still be grateful to Sakura. If it wasn't for her, sighing softly, the brunette gets comfortable and closes his eyes. How difficult it is sometimes for people to understand their true feelings. Isn't that right? That's the end of the guys.